Welcome to Manifest Podcast. This is episode 8 on using ChatGPT to help us manifest. I thought today would be kind of fun to use ChatGPT in the world of weight loss. I got to say, there's so much that we could do in how we can work with ChatGPT and weight loss that I almost want to make two parts to this. But today, let's focus on the really important feature that I think is really helpful. So, at the junction, we have a metaphysics and weight loss program. It's 12 weeks long. You have daily check ins, daily prompts, and really daily lessons and rituals and habits that you create in these 85 days as you apply metaphysics and integrate it into your life. So right now there's a big group of us and we're all started. It's beginning of the year, so it's really palpable over here, and it's in the air, that feeling of like momentum and starting and fresh. And so I thought using ChatGPT could be a really great way, number one, to help us in this journey. But number two, how do we keep going? And so the first thing that I really want to work on today is helping ChatGPT create or really support our why. So in manifesting, we want to know what it is we want and why. It starts with our imagination and our vision of our future self and really painting that picture as if it is happening now. And the practice in the beginning of the program is really getting to A, clarity on what it is we want, and then B, using that to continue on the journey. You've ever started something new, there's that sense of like excitement in the beginning. And then along as the things happen, sometimes things get in the way, and the momentum that we had in the beginning isn't going to pull us through. And so what is the thing? Like, what is that gets us through the hard times? And having a very big, bold why is what will make the difference between getting up in the morning and keeping on, or saying, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm not interested anymore. And what's interesting with those moments where, almost like the difference between continuing or stopping, it's not conscious a lot of the times. Sometimes in those moments, what happens is it's like the light dims or something new, shiny, and more interesting happens. It's over there. It's like, you know what? I don't even know why I want to do that in the first place. This is way more exciting over here. So what happens is that the more we work on something, the more we get into the details of it and we really start to do the work. If we don't get the payoff and we don't get the results or any sort of result, it can get very frustrating very quick. So what is that difference that keeps us going when we are so not motivated anymore and we are so not interested, and maybe something over there is way more exciting and I would rather do that than finish what this is? And the real difference is your why. A perfect example is, for me, my example is I've trained for races before, and I like running, and I know a lot of people don't like running, but work with me here. And so I've ran races before and trained for them, but I gotta tell you, when I got accepted to run the New York Marathon, and I've always loved New York City, anything New York, Manhattan, like sign me up, get me there. Central Park, yes. When I trained for that marathon versus any other marathon I'd ever trained for, which was only 3, but there was always to this day a stark difference between that race and all the other trainings. And you might as well throw in any other race, actually. So I always go back to what made that one so different than all the rest. Number one, it was a dream. It was a wish. It felt like I had hit the lottery. It was a bucket list. So can you hear that it was an interest so strong? When my why was so palpable, clear, I immersed myself in the feelings of what it was going to be to run that race. I went so far as to study the map on where we were going and how long each mile would take and where I would be in my training. So if I'm on, kilometer 16, I knew I would be over here. Hitting mile 20, I should be in Queens on the bridge. And I had it so clear that when I went training outside, no matter if it was raining or snowing, it didn't matter, because when I was running, my mind was in New York City. My mind was on Central Park, hitting across the finish line, getting the medal around my neck. Like, that's where my brain was. Now, my why was so palpable that actually the training was enjoyable. It was so exciting. And so that one for me has always been a gift, a great learning lesson for how important our why is in keeping it in the forefront and continually reminding ourselves, and trying not to let that light flicker down and become a small little light. We want to keep it bright as long as we can. So today we're going to use ChatGPT to help us craft our why. So I have in the description the prompt that you're going to use to help launch a conversation with ChatGPT to help solidify, clarify, and really get clear your why. So the first thing you want to do before you even start your prompt is to take a look at the area that you are wanting to manifest and have it make a real big difference. If it's weight loss, you want to really step into the future. Imagine whether it's your goal weight or not, like getting to a milestone. Like, let's just sit with a significant milestone that if you reached it, it meant something shifted inside of you. For some people, it could be, honestly, 5 pounds. If, I've been there where I've struggled to click, to get in the game, to get past day 4, for goodness sakes, at that point in time in the journey, losing 5 pounds would have meant that a miracle had showed up, that I'd finally, something had shifted for me. Now, it didn't matter how much I weighed, because 5 pounds meant finally something shifted. So for you, what is the thing that if you reached that first milestone would have you say, yep, something shifted? So that's where we want to begin to be with, is what is that realm? What is that new realm where if you were to get there, it would mean that you've got some sort of new momentum, new habits, new conversation, new outlook. Now go further. What's the next milestone? Visualize yourself there. Now the big question is, why? Why there? Why that? What is that meaning to you? That's what we're going to get to work on. So let's start with our first prompt from ChatGPT that will help us craft your why. Help me uncover my deep why for wanting to lose weight. Guide me through questions that connect me to the emotional, physical, and mental reasons behind my goal. Once I discover my why, summarize it into clear, powerful statement that I can use for daily motivation. So by plugging that prompt into the console, you'll see that it's going to pop up with some questions. This is where you just take your time and actually answer them. It can be free form writing. You can go one by one in bullet points. It really is up to you. But by really tapping into each of these questions, it's going to get to the heart and soul of your why. So once you've answered your questions, really typing it out, getting clarity, go ahead and hit enter, And what you will discover is ChatGPT's powerful why statement. Now, what I love about this why statement is that now you can do so much more by having this why statement. I'm going to provide in the chat a few more prompts that you can use on your own that can further your weight loss journey. And all of the prompts that will be underneath are the ones that start with knowing my why statement, help me, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to be using that why statement to then further explore other methods that ChatGPT can use to help us, using it to help become an accountability partner. So if there's foods you want to explore, a meal plan or a fitness journey, you can actually have ChatGPT be your accountability partner for that. Check in daily with it. Tell it what you've eaten. Ask questions like take a picture of a banana and say, how many calories are in this? Or, hey, I only have ground beef and an avocado and some spices. What should I make for dinner tonight? It can help you with that. If there's specific programs that you're interested in, it can give you clarity around it. If you want to explore being a vegan, vegetarian, keto, Weight Watchers, Noom, like all of that is available. Ask chat, The third one is releasing limiting beliefs. Being stuck in our journey can make the difference between stopping our journey or continuing on and really working through it. And using ChatGPT to help us explore our limiting beliefs is very powerful. In our previous podcast, we looked at different rituals and practices that we can set up, gratitudes and affirmations. It is absolutely available inside of your why statement. It can capture some affirmations that will work specifically for you. Gratitude questions or prompts, it can work specifically for you. If there's areas that you've really been struggling in, we can ask it to just really hone in on that area, give us some encouragement and cheerleading to keep us going. If we hit a plateau, sometimes again, it's like instead of struggling, knowing that ChatGPT is there to help us in these plateaus, it can really be a great help in identifying maybe what's stopping us and why the plateau. It can ask you clarifying questions to get to, is there stress happening right now? How is your sleep going? These are things that it can do to really help support us in moving through our plateaus. And then finally, celebrating wins. We want to always celebrate every milestone, small or big. It's more than just the scale too. It's anytime we wake up and we feel free, self-expressed, a sense of self-worth and self-esteem and confidence and pride. Like these are emotions that are higher vibration that help us really feel light and free and closer to manifesting our goal. So check below in the description, try out these different prompts and let me know how it goes. I'm very excited to apply these in my own life and really being able to see how much they make a difference. So with that, have a great week. See you next week.